literally love this gearbox. I want the tune on my car. You can feel it's something different is inside. Today we got customer special. That is ALPINA B10 V8S. So why customer special? Because this obviously is a customer car. I've done a timing chain. So these are the parts which are going to be installed, so everything will be up to date and genuine parts most importantly. So we got brand new Venice units, new chains, new sprockets, like all the guides, gaskets, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna swap that now, and yeah, so car should be up to date more or less. Nothing externally, I can see nothing else externally bad. So let's crack on. Basically fix the engine, let's put it this way. It's the same procedure as on any other M62s, and well, just want to review the car because the car is very rare. Apparently four in the country, and that means I'm talking about estate versions, not the saloons. And V8S stands for 4.8. If so, it's not your usual 4.6 or 3.3. I think these are the only ones they made in B10 chassis. So let's talk about 4.8. Why is a 4.8? So what they done with the engine first. So why 4.8? So let's talk about engine. This is literally a hand-built, one-off, unique, back in the day, sort of half M, I would say half M-powered engine, half sort of your daily M62. If you know, I opened the bonnet, apart from this badge, you would say it's a standard 4.4 or 3.5, no big difference whatsoever. What they done to make it 4.8? They done basically you got a 4.6 block, which is 1 millimeter bigger pistons as a 4.4. So then you have a M5 crankshaft S62, M5 conrods, and then they sort of grind the edge where the conrod moves. There is an edge grinded off. So the conrod basically the conrod doesn't touch the block. That's how they modified the block, and it's called F5. And what they done with the heads, they ported the intake. They are 4.4 heads, not the B46. No, don't sort of confuse yourself with the B46 heads. This is a 4.4 ported ones. And exhaust is a pre-facelift, I would say, pre-facelift M62 exhaust, literally the same exhaust manifolds as a S62 from factory. Yes, they're not the best because they're not the free flow ones, but I'm guessing if you would increase the better exhaust system, you probably would gain another, what, maybe up to 20 bhp. and obviously the map itself, like because the MAF sensor, the intake manifold is the same as a 4.6, because the 4.4 is slightly narrow, but we're talking about 4.6 intake manifold as same as the M60 engine. But the rest of the car, the rest of the engine are sort of like, I would say the rest of the engine, not talking about the gearbox, is your ordinary M62. So as I said, S62 crank, S62 conrods, ported intake, maybe 4.6 pistons, and that's it. You got a 4.8, which produces 375 brake horsepower. From 0 to 60, by the book, 5.1 second. Maybe at current age mileage, 5.5-ish, which back in the day, in 2001, 2002, I would say it's a hell of a result. Don't mind the dirt because it hasn't been cleaned. It's literally been off-road for a while because of a timing chain guide's failure. So obviously he's going to get it back and going to get detailed afterwards. So at the moment, because I finished the job, test driven sort of 100 miles, and obviously decided to do a review on it. So what else you can tell that it's a V8S, the special ALPINA one B10. You got 6-spot front brakes. That means, as far as I know, they are from some sort of Ferrari. They got an adapter plate, adapter plates, and then you got 6-spot brakes. Brand new disc and pads, roughly from BMW, is about £2,500 pounds. So if you see rusty sort of brakes, disc and pads or whatever, it's going to cost you a lot of money. So then you have M5 mirrors from factory, and this little badge over there, it only comes on the B10 V8S, because any other B10 ALPINA ones doesn't have a badge over in the sort of rear door. And obviously we have ALPINA badges at the back, obviously this V8S, all these badges from factory where they're supposed to be. And obviously we got a top spoiler, this sort of end of the boot spoiler, and exhaust cutout with the custom ALPINA exhaust hole section. Apart from that, visually, wheels and spoilers, you wouldn't tell it's ALPINA. Obviously, if we look inside, we have sort of individual interior. I would say very rare wood trim. I think it's called olive. And I'm not sure what color the seats. It doesn't seem to be the beige, or I think it's oyster. I'm not 100% sure. Let me know in the comments below. And we got obviously ALPINA steering wheel with sort of upshift and downshift, and well, usual ALPINA sort of plate in the middle. Production number 12, the ALPINA carpets, all 4 floor mats with the special green and blue stripes. And yeah, apart from that, it's pretty much standard standard sport E39, I would say, and obviously the cluster itself. Showing 200 miles per hour, but I'm not sure does it actually make 200 miles per hour, because I've done little research online. It says 176 top speed. I'm not sure if that's limited. So yeah, let's do a quick test drive, see how it goes. So first impression when you sit behind B10 V8S behind the wheel. Like overall it feels like E39. It's 25 year old, 20 whatever year old car, and but let's say it's, as I said, it's completely the power delivery feels completely different. You feel it's been tuned. It's sort of like same as you would buy modern car today and then take it for a remap, do a stage 1 or stage 2, and it feels completely different. The response completely different, power delivery completely different, so on, you know. Let's say on ordinary 540 you would feel, let's say it pulls from 0 to 60, let's say maybe 100 miles per hour, but afterwards it doesn't. Where this, for example, it just pulls from any gear, any speed. It just keeps, you can feel that it has that 500 plus newton meters of torque. It sort of keeps pulling you forwards, you know, where another 4.4 it doesn't feel like that, you know. So this is like sort of big bonus for V8S. So what's the current value of V8S in the UK? Well, as you know, apparently this is one of 4 in the UK produced B10 V8S Tourings, which roughly today speaking about 25-ish K, depending obviously on condition and mileage. For example, this Touring, it's done 141,000 miles. Obviously I've just done a full service, all the chains, gaskets, everything is genuine and replaced. Customer spent, let's say, 3K plus. I mean, maybe it's 25K plus, I don't know. For these sort of cars is their own buyers, because it's not for people who doesn't know about these cars. For someone this will be a standard D39, nothing special. Like you would say, well, E39 with a spoiler at the front and back, but who knows, let's put it this way. Gearbox wise, it's ALPINA tuned. I'm not sure if they've done anything internally, but they definitely done a software update, whatever they do, because this doesn't have a sports mode. Let's say you flick it to the left, it straight away goes to manual mode, and you can upshift and downshift on your steering wheel, and literally you're on 3rd gear, 3000 RPM, and it kicks in straight away. Downshifts for yourself. That easy. I mean, you can definitely feel it's not your standard M62 with the 286 horsepower. This is definitely 100 horsepower more. With this 375 horsepower, I think I could live with it, you know. Like I would accept this as a daily a sort of daily driven old school classic car, you know. I mean, it probably does what about 15 miles per gallon average. What is it, 16 with the harsh driving, so maybe even better, maybe it does 25 miles per gallon. We've done sort of 100 miles in it so far, just as a test drive as well after we've done the chain, and just to see if there's any issues, but seems to be all good. And yeah, I mean, just trying to understand how did it felt back in yearly 2000, how did it felt them 370. Even now it feels like, yeah, it pulls well, you know. But obviously I think you can compare this sort of like modern 2-liter diesel on stage 1 map, you know. You probably torque wise you feel the same, but as I said, this would pull still from 80 miles per hour. It still would pull all the way to the full clock, you know. This is what I could say, you know. But as a cruiser V8 weekend car, awesome, man. I would obviously take this any day over the 4.6, you know. Doesn't matter how much it costs. But parts wise, the most sort of common thing to go is obviously guides, but would probably be very scared with regards to head gasket, because, you know, I had another customer, B10 V8S, a saloon version, where his head gasket was on the way out, but it's sort of driven a bit more than it should, and it flushed the bore, obviously lowered the compression, flushed the bore, and the block was sort of dead. So yeah, this I didn't have the chance to test drive fully that one. I didn't know what to expect from 4.8, but now I know 100% how it feels to owning a 4.8 and how it pulls, you know. Also, talking about the gearbox, it doesn't even on drive mode, let's see, you flick it in drive, it feels sort of, it doesn't feel like standard upshifting and down or downshifting. It feels like half a second quicker gear changes. That means obviously, let's say you're pulling from 0 to 60, that's where them 5.1 second 0 to 60 comes in, because it's not only the power delivery, it also the shifting from first to second to third, you know. I really like that blue ALPINA cluster. Feel straight away you're in sort of different car, because obviously we know ALPINA's because that ALPINA special color, although this one is black. I think in the ALPINA blue it would look epic, you must admit. So yeah, I mean, I did enjoy working on reviewing this rare beast, and if you done same, sort of enjoy the content, leave the comment below. I'll appreciate any sort of comment. If you want to see more stuff like that, I mean, with the rare ALPINAs, because I do mainly, well, I would say pretty much all I do is oldish BMWs, because to be honest, I don't want to review or sort of introduce you to any standard cars. I really love more special cars, let's say. That's why recently you've seen I bought 840 Dakar Yellow. I really starting to appreciate my sort of rare cars that you can't see every day, you know, like some Golf trying to overtake me, but you know, I'm just with my 375 brake cruising around, just know some peasant overtook me, but I don't care. And also thanks for watching, guys. It's sort of, as you see, channel is slowly growing, trying to do my best with the filming, but it is what it is, because obviously it takes loads of times working on projects, customer cars, and obviously other stuff in between. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.